4 first-round quarterbacks this year, we presume. C.J. Stroud from Ohio State, Bryce Young from Alabama, Will Levis from Kentucky, and Anthony Richardson from Florida. Which one of those 4 will face the biggest adjustment to the NFL?
I like the way you phrased that question. I thought you were going to go in a different direction. It'll be Anthony Richardson. I mean, he already looks like the biggest project of any of these quarterbacks. He's got the least amount of experience. He's had plenty of those moments in game. I mean, the Florida State game perfectly encapsulates why Anthony Richardson is attractive, but also why you might want to stay away from him.
Yeah.
The first round, he looks like a Hall of Famer. He's lighting up Florida State's defense, and they're, the announcers are just drooling all over him. Second half, he comes out, he's like 0 for 12, and he's airmailing balls or bouncing them in the dirt. He's got to get more consistent. I do think he'll probably have the biggest jump to make for as far as system as well. I mean, Will Levis played with Liam Cohen a couple years ago, NFL coordinator. C.J. Stroud's played a lot of football. Bryce Young played with Bill O'Brien. Like, those guys are going to be able to acclimate pretty quickly, but Anthony Richardson's got the biggest jump in all phases.
Which way?
I would rather have Hendon Hooker or Jake Haener in the second or third round over Anthony Richardson or Will Levis in the first. I think there's way too much risk with both of them.
I was concerned you were going to say just Anthony Richardson because I don't know how you separate Richardson and Levis. They're both the same quarterback. They're big, strapping guys. They look like $1 million in pads. They can throw a mile. They can move. And then the game starts. And here's the thing about the NFL, and this is what I know. I'm not a huge expert. NFL plays games every Sunday and sometimes Monday. They play games. And if you couldn't play games well in college, I just don't see how you're going to learn to play games well in the pros. But that's just my uninformed opinion, and again, I'm a dick.
It's one of those most frustrating things, though, and we see it all the time. Last year, I thought the NFL used really good self-control because remember Malik Willis was going to be a top 10 pick out of Liberty. It was like, oh, look how fast he is, and he's testing off the charts, and he looks great. But then at the same time, and remember the previous year was Zach Wilson, who everybody fell in love with, and the Jets couldn't resist. And look how that unfolded. And Zach Wilson, his draft stock skyrocketed because of his stupid pro day, which is all controlled. He's throwing to his receivers, and he made the one throw. Remember, it went viral, and every draft guru like McShay and Dan, and I love these guys, Jeremiah, they're all like, I've never seen a throw as more impressive as that. It's not about the impressive throws. Most of these guys can make any or all of these throws. Can you make the boring throws 70% of the time? And if the answer isn't yes on that, you should not be touching them. And we haven't seen a lot of these quarterbacks do it. So they all of a sudden they burst on the scene once the season is over, and we see them in shorts and a t-shirt throw it 75 yards across their body, and we're supposed to believe like that's the version you're going to get. No, you're going to get the version of the guy you saw on tape, which is why all you should do is go look at Bryce Young's tape, throw it in there the last 2 years. Nobody was better. And I get it. He's small, but the NFL is different now. You don't take as many shots as you used to, even just 10 years ago. I would much rather take the risk of a player staying healthy than a player you have no idea if he can play or not. And Bryce Young, I know he can play, so I would take the risk with him all day long.